Shams Charania has revealed a major New York Knicks head coaching search update, as the Knicks have now been known to be looking at more options for their head coaching job, interviewing another prospective head coach, while Leon Rose turns his focus towards another direction. While also we have another update on a key New York Knicks target, and there's major implications following that one as well because of Jason Kidd, and we are going to break all this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys are part of that 71% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe. You guys have been killing it. We're just around 100 subscribers away from another huge milestone, hitting 18,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for the continued support, but let's jump into the video. There is a lot to go over on the Knicks. As the Knicks, well, it was revealed by Shams Charania that they are now looking at more options. Initially, the first two interviews we saw were Taylor Jenkins and Mike Brown, but there's going to be a lot more interviews than just those two. The NBA draft is in a day from now, and frankly, the Knicks are not going to hire a coach before the draft, and it's becoming less and less likely that they hire a coach before free agency begins. So this coaching search is taking a while. The Knicks understand that they don't have to go after marquee free agents this year, and they're mainly just trying to get that mid-level exception type of players going who are making around $6 million per year. And the Knicks don't seem swayed that those players will be bothered by a lack of a coach, as they'll probably have it pretty much narrowed down by that point, and they'll know who their final choices are for that head coach, and there will be that transparency in the interviews. So all of that will have an impact on everything, and Shams revealed who the newest target is. As he said, the New York Knicks are interviewing Minnesota Timberwolves assistant Micah Nori for the team's head coaching job. Now 3 candidates, Nori and 2 former head coaches, Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins, have done formal interviews for the New York Knicks vacancy. So Micah Nori is someone who has been an assistant coach for a very long time, dating back to when he was quite young with the Toronto Raptors. And since then, he's worked under Mike Malone. He's worked for the Timberwolves since then. And it's very interesting to see that they went with Nori, as we all know the Knicks contacted the Timberwolves asking about Chris Finch, their head coach. So now they contacted the Timberwolves as well and asked about Nori, who the Timberwolves, like every team, let him interview and did not block him from that prospective head coaching job. Nori is someone who's very much loved in the NBA community, and for good reason. The man is widely respected as a coach and is also one of the funniest people to really do this job. And just to cover that, because Nori is hilarious, dude. Everybody loves this guy. There's no reason not to love him. When you see him in halftime interviews, it's the best thing ever. Just take a look.
Nothing, fast break points, boom goes the dynamite, there goes.
The man is hilarious. Just all those quotes, plus more, saying like they caught us at talking about the Phoenix Suns when the Timberwolves went 0-3 against them in the regular season before sweeping them in the 2024 playoffs. He said, well, the regular season's different. They caught us at the beach without sunscreen in the regular season. The man just, the quotes that come from this man are golden. And obviously you shouldn't hire someone off quotes, but still, the fact is, Micah Nori is absolutely awesome. Now, if you're anything like me, you would be a little afraid that the name Micah might mean you're evil, but that's not the case here. Please tell me someone here has played Red Dead Redemption, or that joke's going to be very flat. But in regards to Nori, he is someone who's been an assistant coach for a while. He was the head coach of the Timberwolves while Chris Finch was recovering from tearing his ACL on the sideline, and because of that, he does have some sort of head coaching experience in a way, but he comes very highly regarded. Now, we've seen players, we've seen The Athletic mention it, and as The Athletic said, in his 3 seasons with the Timberwolves, now 4, Nori has shown a knack for folksy one-liners during those sideline interviews. But he also has earned a reputation among his fellow Wolves coaches and players for an encyclopedic grasp of opponent tendencies and the savvy way he uses humor to disarm while delivering straightforward feedback to players. And Anthony Edwards said, Micah's a genius. Micah came to our huddle and was like, this is what they're going to run. This is the play they're going to run. Be ready for this. And they came out and ran that exact play. So this is Nori's specialty. The man picks up tendencies like there's no tomorrow, meaning like Tom Thibodeau, he's going to be a film junkie. Vince Carter said that about Nori, that Nori and Vince Carter lived together for 2 years, and Vince would have nights where he was just watching film, and Nori would watch with him, and he's like, say your entire process out loud. I want to hear and understand how you see the game so I can be better at coaching you. Like, Micah Nori looks like, in every sense of the word, he's going to be an excellent coach at this level. And Timberwolves fans are seemingly aware of that, as they seem terrified of losing Nori, saying, I knew this was coming, but I absolutely am ready to lose Micah, or I'm absolutely not ready to lose Micah Nori, just on the sense that he's awesome. They love him. They absolutely love him. And someone else mentioned that Garrison Rosas, who's got a major role with the New York Knicks front office, is in New York, and it makes sense, and it's good for Micah Nori if he gets the Knicks head coaching job. So Timberwolves fans are rooting for Nori to get this job, even though they do want him back. They don't want to lose him because of those anecdotes, because he's a good coach. And the thing is, Chris Finch isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so if Nori's getting a head coaching job, it's not like it's going to be with Minnesota. Now, the Knicks are the only vacancy this summer at head coach. I mean, the Suns were also, they hired Jordan Knott. That situation's done with. But Leon Rose and the Knicks, they're the one team that is hiring a head coach this offseason. And usually there's a few more than just the two that were the Knicks and the Suns, but that's what we're looking at right now. And with this being the case, there's going to be a lot of guys trying to interview and land that Knicks head coaching job. We know that Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins each gave good interviews over last week when they both had multi-day long interviews with the Knicks on becoming their next head coach, making it pretty clear that those are two of the favorites for the job. However, there's just a lot that we look at and understand that, you know what, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how the Knicks continue to go about this with all their guys. And I mean, Nikola Jokic, when Nori coached him, he said he's brutally honest but still funny. He says brutally honest stuff in really funny ways. That's what makes him a really interesting, really funny guy. Maybe he seems like a funny guy, but when things matter, he can answer the call. He definitely knows his stuff, and he's ready and prepared for everything. So obviously, Jokic trusts him. Anthony Edwards trusts him. Micah Nori is coming very highly regarded from multiple outlets, and I think Knicks fans should be excited about this prospective hire. We've seen people on Twitter mentioning that Nori is the assistant coach that took over for Finch, as I mentioned, and he would unlock Cat's passing ability from the top of the key, and is highly regarded by Wolves fans. A solid choice for the head coach or elite assistant position while he's interviewing for the head coaching job. And on top of that, State from Harlem did mention that Nori has had a very long NBA journey. I mean, from 2021 to now, he's the Timberwolves assistant coach to Chris Finch. From 2018 to 2021, he was under Dwayne Casey in Detroit. He was prior to that under Mike Malone in Denver. Prior to that, under Mike Malone again in Sacramento. From 2009 to 2013, he was an assistant to Jay Triano and Dwayne Casey. And then from 1998 to 2009, he was a Raptors advanced scout under 5 head coaches. So there's a lot going on with Nori. He's also a college baseball player, which is just funny. But Micah Nori's a funny guy, and he's got that familiarity with Cat. And I think it's clear that there is a pattern here. The Knicks are looking at guys who would have a lot of them would have some sort of connection or be able to build a pretty fast connection with the Knicks star players, whether that's Karl-Anthony Towns, whether that's Jalen Brunson. I mean, we look at the two coaches that Leon did interview, and it's prior to Nori, and it's Taylor Jenkins, who coached a team that ran on a point guard, but also had a very talented big man who could space the floor. You know, John Morant, Jaren Jackson, Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns. I get they're both very different from their counterparts, because Jaren Jackson's way worse at offense and plays defense, and Towns is way better at offense and doesn't play defense. Not saying that Jaren Jackson's not a great offensive player. He is. Towns is one of the more transcendent big men in NBA history. And that John Morant is a high-flying, super athletic guard who bases his game more on that, when Jalen Brunson is a more cerebral player who is highly skilled and is not really flying through the air and dunks maybe 3 times a year. I get that it's not the exact same comparison, but still, it's coaches who have coached a team that's built similarly in terms of where the star players play and the positioning of it. And the same goes for Mike Brown, who had Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. Again, very, very, very different players from Cat and Jalen Brunson, but still, you're looking at stars from similar angles. And also, Mike Brown and Jalen Brunson theoretically should work well together if Brown is the head coaching hire. However, there is another man to talk about, and that is Sean Sweeney, because he has also been linked to this Knicks head coaching job. As Stefan Bondi mentioned, Micah Nori is interviewing, and the Knicks expressed interest in former Mavericks assistant coach Sean Sweeney, who just signed with the Spurs as an associate head coach. And as Brad Townsend, who is a beat writer for the Mavericks, said, in recent days, the Knicks inquired about Sweeney. He's definitely on track to becoming a head coach, has interviewed for multiple jobs, and if the Spurs are successful, which it seems they are, I don't think he'll be there for long, and neither do I. I think Sean Sweeney is going to get a job pretty soon, and if it's not with the Knicks, it will be with someone. Teams fire their head coaches on a pretty regular basis. We've seen a bunch of the recent coaches of the year now been fired for a stretch for a while. Literally all of them are gone now. Tibbs is the last one standing, and it does make you consider that, well, Sweeney's going to get a job somewhere, and it's interesting to see what the Knicks are going to do, because now we see a couple guys, we see a couple options here, and I think Nori seems like a cool option. I think he'd be funny. I don't think he's going to get the job, but we're also seeing Leon Rose do something different now. We're seeing him now start to look at coaches who were not first-time head coaches. So there's a world where they don't hire, or they do hire a guy who is going to never have head coaching experience before. I mean, it worked for Steve Kerr. He was never a head coach, and he won an NBA championship his first year. Joe Mazzulla made the finals. Well, I guess he didn't, but he made the conference finals, and still, he won the finals in 2 years. So you could easily win as the first-time head coach. I fully believe you can. So we'll see what the Knicks do. I'm really excited to see how this coaching search goes down. What do you think of Micah Nori? What do you think of Sean Sweeney? Who do you want to be the Knicks' next head coach? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to get back to you. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.